We all know that knives and gloves are very hard to unbox since they're so rare, but they aren't even remotely close to some of the rarest skins in CS2. Today, we will take a look at your odds of unboxing some of these ridiculously rare items, and seeing the actual numbers will probably make you reconsider opening cases. We will start with high chance skins and work our way down to the most obscene odds that you've probably seen in a video game. Let's get right into it. Light blue or milsim skins are incredibly easy to get. They have an 80% chance to drop from a case, and you will see them most of the time when you open a case in CS2. Not exciting to get in the slightest. Restricted skins or purple rarity are up next, with a 16% chance of dropping from a case. They are about 5 times more rare than blues, and while they are technically more rare, they really aren't worth that much more since the community opens millions of cases on a monthly basis. Now we get to the classified skins that are pink, and we see a huge jump in rarity at 3.2% chance. Out of 100 cases open, you will statistically get 3 pinks, so it's definitely a rare drop, and if there's multiple pinks in a case, each of those will share that 3.2% drop chance, so getting a specific pink is 2 to 3 times more rare depending on the case. The next rarity up is red, which is covert, and these skins are worth much more and look way better than the previous ones, since the drop chance is a tiny 0.639%. You're not even guaranteed to get one of these if you open 100 cases, so the chances are pretty much awful past this point. Next up, your chances of getting a knife or gloves from a case of gold rarity is 0.256%. That's 1 in 390. So out of 390 people who open one case, only one gets a gold on average. So while yes, it is possible, it is extremely unlikely to happen. If you think these odds are bad, it only gets worse from here. Collection skin drops work very differently from normal cases, so even a pink rarity drop from a collection is rarer than a knife at 0.13% chance. It's nearly 2 times more rare than a knife. I don't think people realize how awful these odds are. It makes opening normal cases look like a good idea. Next up, we have StatTrak Reds, which are infamously...
Oh no! Oh, it's StatTrak! It's StatTrak! It's rarer than a knife!
Since StatTrak is 1 in 10, the odds of getting these skins is a 0.0639% chance. Now that doesn't even include the condition, so if you open a cheap StatTrak Red and Battle Scarred, you now have a $10 skin that was 4 times harder to get than a knife. Let that sink in. Collection Reds are up next, and your odds are starting to become non-existent at 0.027% chance. So if you want to unbox a Dragon Lore, you have to open a $1,200 case for a 1 in 3,700 chance of that happening. That's why Collection Reds like the Gungnir and Wild Lotus are thousands of dollars and have extremely low supply. So, you're opening cases in hopes of getting those Pandora's Box sports gloves from a glove case. Well, good luck, because it's a 1 in 9,375 chance, or 0.00106%. And keep in mind, that doesn't account for condition, so you could end up with well-worn or battle-scarred Pandoras too. Now, let's say you're opening chroma cases or gamma cases in hopes of getting a gem knife like the Emerald, Ruby, and Sapphire. Well, you have a 1 in 23,438 chance of getting it. Gem knives are 10 times more rare than normal phases, and these odds are for any gem knife, so you could end up with a gut knife instead of a karambit. The odds of finding a pearl in an oyster are 1 in 12,000, so you might as well start cracking those open for better odds. Black Pearl Dopplers are so rare that they have their own rarity type in CS2, which is called Ancient, and the chance of a case dropping any Black Pearl knife is a 1 in 234,375. That's because Black Pearls are 10 times more rare than gem knives, or 100 times more rare than normal Doppler phases. Once again, that's also for any Black Pearl, so it could be a Navaja, and the chance of getting struck by lightning is twice as good at 1 in 114,000. Here's where the odds get downright sinister. If Pandora's Box are hard to get, try getting them in factory new at 1 in 693,750 chance. Gloves are flow capped at 0.06, which means you have a tiny chance of getting them in factory new between that 0.01 float range, and that's on top of the horrible odds of getting these gloves in the first place. No wonder these things go for 50k on the market. The holy grail of AK skins is the StatTrak Factory New AK Case Harn with the pattern 661, and your odds of getting it by my calculations is 1 in 8,949,735. We still don't know exactly how condition is determined by the game during unboxing, so I calculated odds using float ranges, and yeah, it's nearly 1 in 9 million. So in theory, you would need to open $626 million worth of weapon case once to statistically get one of these, and it's not even guaranteed. It's a miracle that even one of these exists, so that $1 million price tag starts making sense when you factor all of this in. StatTrak factory new Crimson Web Karambits used to be the most desired item in CSGO at one point, and the odds of getting one are 1 in 18,789,063. Crimson Web knives are flow capped at 0.06, so factory new is very rare. StatTrak adds a 1 in 10 chance, and getting this Karambit with the Crimson Web finish is also a 1 in 65 chance. Now, 1 in 18.7 million sounds bad, but it could still get worse. Remember how black pearls are painfully rare to unbox? Well, if you try to get a StatTrak Karambit in minimal wear condition with the black pearl finish, we get an astronomically low odd of 1 in 93,750,000. Dopplers are flow capped at 0.08, so minimal wear is technically the rarest condition of a Doppler, and shockingly, two of these knives do exist in CS2, one in 0.075 float and the other in 0.079 float. Next up, we have the holy grail of knives in Counter-Strike, the factory new Karambit Case Hardened Blue Gem pattern 387, and the only one that exists in the world is an absolute statistical anomaly, since the odds are 1 in 363,242,132. The odds of winning the Powerball jackpot are way lower at 1 in 292 million, so the odds of getting this knife are borderline incomprehensible. That $1.5 million price tag is starting to seem low now. Pandora's box gloves are technically not the most rare and expensive gloves possible. That would go to factory new Max Red Crimson Kimonos with a pattern of 560. These gloves don't actually exist, and that's because the odds of getting them is 1 in 693,750,000. Now, if they hypothetically did get unboxed, I've heard estimates of well over $100,000, but then again, your odds of winning the lottery are 3 times better, so it's not happening. And finally, we get to the rarest skin that does actually exist in CS2, and you might be wondering, why is it a M249 Gator Mesh? Well, the float on this skin actually has 9 zeros in it, and the odds of getting this skin dropped in game is 1 in 1.25 billion with a B. The odds of you getting killed by a meteorite or the earth getting hit with gamma rays are better at 1 in 1 billion. This Gator Mesh is the #1 lowest float skin in the game, worth tens of thousands, and sits at the top of the CS float database along with the glitched no star Karambit. Now, hypothetically speaking, what is the rarest possible item that you could get in CS2? Well, if you wanted a specific pattern, factory new StatTrak Karambit Black Pearl with 9 zeros as the float value, the odds of getting it would be 1 in 117 quintillion, 187 quadrillion, 500 trillion. In scientific notation, that will be 1.17 with 20 zeros behind it. It's still more likely to happen than One getting a Titan Hollow from a Kato capsule, but you get my point, astronomically and incomprehensibly rare. Anyways, that's it for today. If you found this video interesting, consider subbing to the channel for more content like this. I'm actually doing my first stream right here on YouTube on Friday at 4 PM EST, rating your guys' glove knife combos and crafts. Make sure to tune in for that, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out, everyone.